or Africa no. Yenya ehu opponents ni nyina na Perry Edibetu television no so. Na yensha semfi Champions League na Confederation. Yenfa ho details em. Okay, Confederation na Ediaba first. Nations FC NFC Diara ana Ebo Nations NFC Diara Mali.
Yeah.
Big we screens no so. Say Ekobasa Nations for sha. Or call AS Zam. Ana Asko Dikara. Inti Mali, Niger, Togo. Say Yana.
Kwaku, it should be a manageable draw. Yes, because it should be because Sana Senke na.
Me fact Champions League no son kan.
Okay.
See, young nations there.
Yeah.
Yanko Champions League the boy. What was so Medeama dear na Medeama dear ne wo form wo pa. Medeama any TP Mazembe. We mo show. Medeama versus TP Mazembe. Yamfa na say Medeama ase ekonenim. On a club Africain ana AC Joliba.
Okay.
Emubako na bebo.
Okay.
Ti DR Congo, Tunisia, Mali. Enti takwafuei TP Mazembe na eba yo. Me sure say team ni wa Abidjan.
Aye.
Mwanka say ubehu say Mazembe dia wo say omukeka omo ho.
Yeah.
What I say?
Yeah.
Inti hey, Medeama fair na.
Kwaku, I think that if you are looking at the name and the pedigree of TP Mazembe on the African continent there, you would say it is a very difficult game for Medeama. But one thing I am now, I told them I'm with GDA. Our Ghana Premier League clubs, the most call African Interclub Competition assignment. Kwaku, the opponents are. Sorry to say I'm not being racist. Some of black Africans. And Penny Baby, she has half 180 million mobile. Yem for tuntum for no Africa. Say any mobile, I am any problem. I'm from my but ye too quite near North Africa. A toda South Africa. A hormone mimi who say I am bre. Any I watch any Cassiana pa. I am never Ghana Premier League clubs and so. The TP Mazembe, if you are looking at the name in the past, TP Mazembe are born home on the African soil. Level our born Africa, Kwaku, Medeama, man, who crampo. Until the last time I Medeama typical group stages of the Champions League, they were celebrated because Medeama and yet team and any Paradona so mubetimi Kwaku Duru Honum. But the TP Mazembe we are talking about has conquered Africa on so many occasions. Akwa Club World Cup, Akwa PMO finals. This is the kind of team we are talking about. But you ask yourself, say, TP Mazembe to say TP Mazembe maybe an na. That is the big question now. TP Mazembe is not like it used to be. But that notwithstanding, there is that kind of experience. And say TP Mazembe are from for some time. Not just last season. Congolese League on boy on the top here, on the defense. Or G League with 10 points difference. On your 73 points. They are not done that you was 63 points. I don't believe a season, no. That alone should tell you so much. I see a year near my year. They revive you, no sorry. And I know the man is difficult. The Medeama team has been intact. The only problem they have has been their midfield. I'm saying it is a problem because bono a triangular midfield. Nipa miensa. Ana last year mo body ma Medeama no. Omo nyina anya de be eni ho. Manteni ho nom. Sali Madam si ni ho. Fuji Taylor ni ho. So you now have to build a new triangular midfield. And that is where the problem is. It's over to me a book kakra the amount. Over test our strength, our friendly games. But me no me friendly matches. I am anybody different from competitive games. It's in as much as a midfielders yaba. No one's work quality. A chedog any other players. Omuni born ball. me jitum sa, but it will take time for them to get to know each other better. And start the performance and the previous season no. Triangular midfielder now kitane the man any understanding and honor etimiaba. And the honor na mimi stroker. Edema Medeama. Yes, but I feel that this is a draw. It is difficult per the names, but should Medeama put in a bit of effort? Ebi anakwaku ometimi aye the previous time ni bi.
The nations
Nations ye kwaku so try head away ebe me wanwa. Yes, ebe me wanwa. Misroma nations pa seriously speaking. Kwaku eyemi because yes. Eyemi because Nation FC last season, yes, they won the FA Cup. Okay. I don't know how many so qualify or more anyway. Confederations Cup. But Nations FA Cup, and the performance will league him to say. And your performance are strong. The other last season in the Malian League, community fourth. Malian League anymore. So what it tells me is the performance never strong. Even though they weren't the best, but to be among the top 4, let's assume Senka Nations Ghana Premier League and you're part of the top 4, NOG FA Cup, no, they call Africa. The conversation would have been different.
Well, anyway.
Aside that, Osazu Tony key players who players need to Kotoko observation and no comedy. It's the Nations now a few say why relegated. Or keep some of these players about Africa. No, the key ones among them Osazu Tony their call. And I know the mommy throw them on.
Well. Everybody di hunkomo bebre. Hearts of Folk second JC Hearts of Folk so the pie abonting into Hearts of Folk nyame adoma JC a mo be say home ne de edinkan aba second one ni.
Wow. Wow.
We die.
Wow.
Efe pa ubu ne nichie kura efe. Diane na ubu ne tichi JC na efe. Kasa efe.
Efe papa.
Efe.
Papa.
White na efe.
And honestly TH before no ye more mabaso. If you look at the kind of jerseys or Yama teams now, seriously speaking, when they were about to catch Kumasi Asante Kotoko, a lot of people or a section of the people, I don't have to say a lot, a section of the people felt to say, maybe I'm not Kotoko free, but a brand and handle Kotoko no was so dodo. But THB be so mono, she jerseys from the Kotoko, she Kotoko training kits. Last season, Omona na Kete Kaila United. Look at the jerseys Aromu provided Makaila United. How beautiful it was. She had to focus back out. She had to focus jersey. Home dear no more home jersey in the away dear you to swab so kama. It's Kuma more mabaso. They are really doing well for our Ghana Premier League club.
So the Hearts of Folk away jersey and no adult television also no on the same Hearts 11 is a mighty team. Hearts 11 is a mighty team. Hearts 11 is a mighty team. When I ask me the boss, a beautiful people with beautiful colors. You know,
I think I can't Diana Buonichi.
Just say, you mean me to help Kotoko supporters don't be me pa, but Jason FIF, Master F.
Oh, that's a Kotoko dear song.
You know how they say. Beautiful people with beautiful colors. You made mention of Kotoko, and now Sante Kotoko Pajo performance no na a dafom na made 13 place be say so far. I'm na coach no e won bu GDS any die odo ombeto aso won ka ho dia either say you are playing to convince him and also was start say boaboa wo ho sanity.
Kwaku. Yes, sana nkomo ne yaye. Na say sanity. Yes.
Many of these players say new players. Says the Kotoko Besashi shed team for crowd.
The Kika Quidi, Sana Bay.
Cleve Oben Mayele, new player, no Nanzing, or also a justified hono.
Foreigner.
Yeah. Abdul Kader Bismarck Ofori, youth team. Abu Adams, youth team. Patrick Aseidu, Joseph Amwa, Inusa Adams, Hubert Jehu, Lawson Che, Dauda Saka, Philip Amo, Isaac Opoku Ajiman. Biggie, let's have a conversation.
Kokunti Roko no wabubono. Uye play and I want to dia Bompaye. Bompaye bumunya ding pa. Kwaku first of all, answer remember names we no so no. There's one thing I have observed, and I think say football na ye born yesua any free amanone.
Udi unkomo no Kotoko na game omni Benab boy or Pajo no and I ye videos or television no wadarama twaso.
Kwaku game ni yesua wa amanone. Enti game na yesua no. Mijitum said there are a lot of things about the game that happens and it's normal. Mistakes, blunders. These are part of the game. Now the America say yesua no say aya dan dia ba kwa me hu football hu ne say pre-season games no ashase de no aya na eba no ano most of the players enye sharp ebinum behia niema ba ko mienu bi because the first two games in pain bebre no ano aya na players ne sharpness ne niema bi wo form etu hwa amanone a this season Real Madrid the first 2 games also Real Madrid boy in friendly games no it was closed door. Chelsea did the same thing. I think that your clubs never Ghana hanom no omunsua sa de ne kakra. Me kasa because of certain players are e bi mpo more quality on betimi di abo team no. But videos bi ni nyama bi e ba abonten no. Ama criticism ni ade ahya ase e doso. E with these players na so. That is why I'm saying that. It's at least the first game of the preseason or the first 2 games there. Me jiri say you close door. Na nkofa nsem bi sa anyere ben. Amfama. Kwaku moving on. Me wa asem bia ya make say o ye footballer. Season bia e bebo bia no. O performance bia obedan na di bia exams na wo tro. Performance bia obedan na di wo season mu bia wo tro exams. It is so any a exams na wo tro no. Unim say obenya promotion. Sa nso ani a exams na wo tro no. Unim say e betimi a repeat say class na wo mu no. Tena sa class na mu kopem so obebo ho mode ansa na ye promoting crofo e de o makọ manimu a wo so ya promote waka ho se kọ wanim na afi kokọbo ho mode die nti na make kasa no there be certain players at Kumasi Asante Kotoko Akwaku, let's be honest omo mode mo no wo from last season yeah this ankomo on countless occasions there were a lot of players Kotoko were buying na you be feel say based on the name of Makavia mo ho and even the dia ye tefa omo ansa na omo join Asante Kotoko. Those we knew, those we didn't know. Ebi won man ya hwe omo. Ehun omo modemo. Ebi won mo po ebi o ye foreigner. Ye nhwe no, ye hu ni modemo. But watch the player and videos. I didn't come off a player no ho. Abi so mo nim player no ni player na si akan pen. Ama ben se mo kan ye no. Wo gidie se player se ma si de se mo maka afa ne hu. Sa ne ma ni nyina ba ye de be ebefa. But eventually last season league ni shase na ye league no. A lot of these players modern man na you susu say be hu no. Ye hu sa modern man and free players na ho. Enti season na ekoso no. Ye bubo di nkomo. Say asema si modern man wo dan na di nya de e wo soro. Player we modern man wo dan na di de nya de e hye nkuran. Ye susu so obedan modern man wo fom say ye di amakuma se Asante Kotoko. Enti sa players no ana. Nkomo na edidi ye no a. Now a new manager steps in. Oba ye no, or say, or pursue more be equal opportunity. Technical report awabehu. Even before coming to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and sama wati. Because me meka. And me sounds waka biem. Coach came to Kumasi Asante Kotoko based on certain recommendations from Nkrofo no Yajmo Kotoko. It's the coach and the technical director. No. They had a lot of information about the players even before joining Asante Kotoko. Name di obi aka no. Enya brebia na ye no kra enya brebia na ye de ya asem e na omo decide say omo be ma obi equal opportunity afei bona ye nhwe the standard of Kumasi Asante Kotoko last season baby Kotoko di the performance of Kumasi Asante Kotoko last season coach ni mpanifo ni feel say that is not the level of Asante Kotoko. It is okay coach ni ba ye no the earlier statement to make here about Asante Kotoko o say teams are wa coach ni nyina the ode Kotoko beto to ne hu Orlando Pirates. Eti coach ni wo no o Kumasi Asante Kotoko on the level of Orlando Pirates. Eti so hu Kotoko Orlando Pirates level a coach ni besusu say the kind of quality he's been seen in the South African League, the kind of quality o hu ni say Orlando Pirates for the tono and no be no susu so de baba ba ya dwuma o Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Enti so ba Kotoko now ye player na ye ma wakwanya se bo na wantimi amoni ye na coach ni hwe no susu say da bi mode ma wo dan na di de nya de e be so na ni a kwagu obeyi wa free team ni mu nya de ono obeyi adwuma And until I make say, and some I see in the past, last season, no, certain poor performances are players be dying already. Now you justify your inclusion, and as our players, you know, it's almost a bubo mudi last season, some modern already. Omo ya dear, omo bo omo homodeno. A chunk of those players that were talked about, I names omo bo homodeno. Their names are in the list. But if you know omo put in like a physical attitude. Born as a obo, born as a omo, as a oye Kotoko favor, as a born of person, as a person of bono, sa for no Medeama and Kumasi Asante Kotoko has another friendly game to play. Sa friendly game no against Ebony. Player who are Kwanya, so be Babeka list we the game against Ebony necessary with the channel. The game against Ebony and not necessary with the channel. So wa Kwanya, so bet me aka Kumasi Asante Kotoko coach in the list. And after the squad of the Bayer Jumano, it is up to who play and I will come out as Santi Kotoko. So, born homody. And as I will yet dear Bain, mobile training sessions and Sarah Mabosa game. Prove a point to the manager during the training sessions. How many times I enter a Kromano Munkai? So the kind of performance our players with the Maya was Santi Kotoko, a substandard performance. We compare them mostly to the previous players. Near Casa, you won't pay so pa. Player some Simon Penso pa. Player we pa na Kotoko position we are. And kayen to somebody more we no be dynedy. Nti de bia ye hwe ye chi. Na ye bu nkompon na ye di nkomo no a. Ye hunu ni so mo ba na nsen no. Do na ye substandard players. Based on the Kumasi Asante Kotoko quality we've seen in the past. And Sadia na coach nso ba ye no. Ono nso so ahu. And nti na me make reference to the remarks he made. So coach teams are coaching no or the Asante Kotoko to Orlando Pirates and or the Kotoko to Orlando Pirates one. If you say quality now Kumasi Asante Kotoko kita say no emu to do na mfechi the Kotoko standard. And that is where the problem is. It's me media. It's a decision way.
We are going to have the entire new team. Because if Kotoko signs 15 and above players a bedding say obetimi enya team beyond individual players say odi kwaje league and
it will be difficult.
We are afraid a players ni bebo atom ho ase.
Yeah,
it takes time.
Yeah, wow. So nkomo na ye di no it is like Kotoko coming to build a new project and projects and be mature. It is definitely going to take more than a season. But when we stand and say if this is the way to go, na Kumasi Asante Kotoko level na ye hwehwe say bedu no betimi akwa kodra. Me okay. And one reason I am going to pardon certain things, I say, if it is the same technical hands and the same management, and the one no matter players bebre agu ho, and no more players ama o mako, asa so to bebre aba be ka ho a, that is questionable. But this is a new management, a new technical hands, and they feel that per juma no money person omo ye. Any level omo dia Asante Kotoko dru no. Quality na e wo team nim no. Bebre wo form a. Ye be mo the benefit of the doubt. Personally, me nka say ye me. Me mo the benefit of the doubt. Na ma hwede omo de ba on board. And aside all these things, Kwaku, the players you are going to bring on board and the Kotoko performance during the season, and I bet you say you took the right decision. Because ye can players be omudini listing no. If you bring in other players, now you share now you nyina ye hwebi last season, you hwebi this season. Ni e so omo ade omo buy no omo money man no form. E che binum na ya ma omo akodo nso so a eno so yanka ya no ntum. Eno dey fact. Yanka ya no ntum. That is for a fact. It omo ba no should come and prove why. Na coach ni feel so omo na work quality e che omo kono because Kwame Poku ko ono ni team ni as we speak into me for ono na example Kwame Poku ko now you are bringing in a striker na striker na oba any performance ni nye na ye hwe Kwame Poku na last season na enye no but na Kwame Poku de ni ye chance a striker na ode buy na Kwaku then what is the point? I don't think I make us a season in the Shasia. Omo mbeba no more mono. I don't know be me who say nkomo we are technical team need to take the right decision. And I said the decision they took was wrong. But as we speak, I have no other option than to support the technical team. The betterment of Asante Kotoko and Uni Hiame. So if this is the way to go, na coach if you say team be better. Many problem.
Woko Accra chairman solo supporters, global supporters, some chairman after Sophie UK buy no Osha supporters no and so ewo and cranty and also eguswa ekoso chairman solo guswa okoto.
Kwaku first mame mo chairman solo abaso. Yes, me bo chairman solo abaso not just because e wotutu kwai debi. But the kwai na wotu no den no kwa akoye ne ho. Say a resource beba, say emfa resource ma. Kwaku at least taking that step alone. Maybe who say a plus. I'm saying say me who say a plus because Kumasi Asante Kotoko Boko no. And Predro was saying and I yendi supporters mobilization Hong Kong. And Kotoko supporters leader Kwaku wa Juma Panes obe mobilize supporters. Say coach beba ye pe coach we ni e peno ye pe coach asemasi and yes supporters leader Juma. Player some see the money months any yempeno player we ni pen penifon to player we my enya supporters leadership adwuma but em pay bebre na nsan mu Kumasi Asante ko supporters leaders ya ye so adwuma no ya di coach we有 problem player we ya say say adwuma no mom na supporters leaders na fa to omo to no ma jo omo core mandate to mobilize supporters to support the Kumasi Asante Kotoko club omo je no na to e di Kumasi Asante Kotoko bo matcha and Kotoko, even when they were winning, not supporters a ma. You nim say article form. Yes, I am no credit. But I dear back what minimum say ya muhano. So when say banner yen to so na nieme koya supporters you to the team na chi. But America can kwaku. Kumasi Asante Kotoko shempo supporters ne ma. Even when they are winning, a dear ben na esi. As I say o grounds. Oko form. What your supporters the DNT almost support your team. Or because I saw munim dada and foreign teams no almost supporting even when they are losing and a whole lot I no cremiji tumpa. But kwaya ya faso ya football ha. And kwaya mo faso ya football e wo honom no. Nsunsu ye wom. Eti kopem say ye be education. Na ye krom for na teball na sit say the amanone for na tiase no. We can't stop pursuing them and convincing them to come to the stadium. It's the chairman that decided to obey form. No work of form. And then in crowd for now, man, wako did in como. No be so more how. The entire yabo matches or mama. The entire Kotoko sham maybe a terminal. Yet him some mampona team ne shamoba. But say, see, as a team niche and poor mano. May Baba be someone the current. Na ye na ya pa 70 puma sibreni on kwaya de faswa. Chairman Solonia Bonibia. Big media, me bonabaso. He's done very well. And on to us. Na league in the chassis. Ye who some faswa. Oh, Baba Allsportsgh Stadium Kwaku.
Players Kotoko eja omo kwan had to focus phobia
Oh yes.
A lot of links, for instance, Kwame Poku, many others, you know, had to focus phobia
Kwaku Yes, I am saying a because the fact that a player or disciplinary records Kumasi Asante Kotoko doesn't mean that team will be as anote. Debbie. One of the players who were Buchano Mohadrin pa Marube wa Balotelli. But there was a certain coach, one coach Balotelli daw. But anytime a Balotelli coach in any problem, sa coach in the far for no for Balotelli pe bibia to try. It was Arsene Wenger. Obi nim magic na oye. Obi nim de na oye. But he knew how to handle the player. Even when not only the team and as own coach, you know. It's the fact that player ne hard doesn't mean to be hard baby will be me handle. Aside that, if there's our performance, the fact that Abia and Yaman Koyan from a player in the previous season doesn't mean he's a bad player. You didn't call me Poku more. You won't Ghana Premier League more. Right. Last season was Sante Kotoko. But that doesn't mean he's a bad striker. And should be Befanoa. He deserves